speaking of, I think we just watch a quick video on the life of the Dino so that anyone can understand this. This is just fantastic.
Oh,
where's the mouse gone? There it is.
Pull up in my grey Audi A3 on finance to my 25-year fixed-rate mortgage Barrett new build home after a hard day's work as deputy assistant head of sales targeting. Open the boot and take out my River Island and Super Dry bags with my lush new gear. Open the door. Yell hello to my wife of 2 years in the kitchen as she is already home from her work as a team leader at a call center. Sit down on my grey velvet sofa bought on sale from Sofology and put my feet up on my IKEA table. Whap on the telly just in time to see Bradders going through the rules to the final chase with the contestants who made it through. Perfect timing, as wifey brings through dinner. Another one of Jamie Oliver's cracking 30-minute meals. Tuck in as I pretend to listen to my wife's stories from work. Send a snap to Smithster and Dino, see if they want to come round later to watch the Champions League game on the old 4K OLED, maybe sneak in a few rounds of FIFA.
It's pretty on the money, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, like,
The 2000s were the biggest mistake humanity has.
right, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing on finance, yes, on credit, everything to do with his life is on credit, but he has a home and he has a wife and he has basically a foundation for the rest of his life, which is more than a lot of people could say. It's all the superficial bollocks on top of it, the FIFA,
Does he actually
the
have
chase.
it? Does he actually have it? Because at any point, the bank could call in those mortgages, could call in those loans, call in credit, and it's all taken away from him. He doesn't really possess anything. It's the fiction of possessing these things.
Well,
Right?
that's true, but still, he's in in terms of his foundations of what you need for a good life. Even if superficially he's got a home and a wife, he's still in a better position than most.
Sure, but it's definitely very artificial because he obviously can't have any of these things really.
Well, sure, but like as Harry said, that's the milieu he exists in. He's following the incentives of just buying things on credit and having consumer luxury goods. But the substance of his life is very sentimental. Like Dino, as we were talking about on the podcast just before, Dino isn't watching the manosphere.
Sure.
He's not thinking about his relationships in a transactional way. So if you take away...
Dino doesn't follow the Hellenist.
Dino's not watching Caribbean Rhythm.
Damn, that's his mistake.
The name of the philosopher escapes me, but there's a strain of philosophy which I agree with, which is basically that the ultimate goal of philosophy is not to think. And in the same sense, like the Dino is basically...
Rory's
I love the
greatest
Dino
curse
because they're
is he has
basically a representation of the Guardian of Eden.
The Dino is
The kind of man before the fall, in a way.
One second. Would you be willing to look at a Dino and say he looked at it and he saw that it was good?
Yeah. I think there's something aspirational in the Dino a little bit. You know?
Rory,
Things don't affect them in the same way, at least psychologically.
Rory, I so respect that you're a man who is cursed to be far more conscious than you actually want to be.
Well, actually, he's not wrong. So this is something Peterson keeps talking about, is that the same areas of your brain that light up when you're suffering are the same that light up in self-awareness. Mm-hmm. So when you're being introspective...
Samsara confirmed. Fucking hell.
But that just implies that the Dino is wandering around a state of unmitigated bliss.
Yeah, they are.
So
then the last men at the end of history.
I mean, yeah, you're right. These are just the kind of the worker bee types. They don't really have that much consciousness, and they're just, like you say, reacting to the material reality around them and just going, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, I suppose, and so I'll do it.
Yeah, and so if you take out the building blocks of the Dino lifestyle, the material conditions, what does he have left? He still has the sentimental relationships that he's attached to. He's just having these relationships in the conditions which allow him to do so the easiest, right?
This is like Brave New World when the Omegas get denied the Soma.
I can't remember that bit.
It's riots.
Oh, right.
Because they want their drugs to keep them in line.
I don't think Dino's going to riot.
Well,
I
think if you deprive him of his Barrett New Build and the FIFA, maybe he will. Like,
if I were to do something like that, I would have to imagine I would feel the same way that, like, I don't know, I would feel bad in the same way that I would expect to if I was like on guard at Auschwitz. I'd feel terrible.
Harry's had this dream many times.
I'd feel terrible if I was taking the Dino's things away from him. I'm basically taking away his whole reason for living.
Yeah,
if he can't play the latest FIFA,
I'm not saying
what's
we need
the
to do
point?
But we are approaching the Dino as if he's like the Delta from Brave New World, right? As if like all of the Dinos were deprived of oxygen when they were young, and and are completely incapable of self-awareness.
The thing is, I actually, I've lived in Manchester, so I know quite a few people who are basically dinos.
Yeah, I've got
The thing is, the ones that I know, maybe they're not representative, maybe they're not a proper sample, but most of them are, one, far more based than you would expect them to be, two, genuinely self-aware, and very, very intelligent to a man. It's just that they, like you say, they've not really been put into a situation of material discomfort.
When you say very, very intelligent, do you mean like street smart? Or
No, one of them literally has like an IQ of 150.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a representative sample.
Yeah,
So,
of anything.
so I think Dino's closer to the bell curve meme.
I'm not saying that most dinos are going to be like secret super genius types. But all I'm saying is this
liberalism before 150 IQ dinos.
Well, no.
The guy makes a living playing fucking poker online, making like 10 grand a day.
Can I just make a point, because I went for a stage of watching Love Island when I had a girlfirend.
I'm so sorry. Is that why
you get
she's an ex?
full on dinos? Yeah, you get full on dino types in there who have like degrees in chemical engineering,
Oh, you get Chris
aerospace
Williamson.
engineering, Chris Williamson types. So I don't think it's all dinos are in one IQ category, and I think it's important we're not derogatory to them. When I say they're in a state of bliss, I don't mean they're completely unself-aware, but they're more in. Whereas we sort of stand outside of Englishness and English society in a more in a way where we can analyze it and see the currents. They're embedded in it in a way that's quite authentic and natural, and they don't necessarily they can understand things to an extent. They can see where things are going, but they're sort of materially happy at the moment, and necessity hasn't hit them yet. Whether it does in the future remains to be seen, but I don't think they will fall apart as a.
The mouse for a second. I'm reminded of the fact when you say that, Rory, of the fact where's the mouse? Here's the mouse. Where's the Dino? Where's the Dino guy from the thumbnail?
Oh well, we can actually. I'll tell you what. We can skip to the next tab, because this is just a sort of rolling thing of the aesthetic.
Because the Dino representative, he actually posts videos of himself from some, I don't know, holiday resort in
Spain.
He'll come up later
or something, and he occasionally posts like, "Oh, I can't believe how bad this country's going down the drain, lads. Can you believe it? Dino, he's having a tough time at the moment.
Yeah.
We need to sort this whole country out."
So, quick question.
Well, no, they don't say that last bit though, do they? Like when I've seen those clips, they tend to say at the end, "That's why I'm not going to be fucking here anymore." Like,
go to Dubai or Australia.
There's a note of resignation.
The Peter Hitchens' last man.
Yeah, well, quite.
No. He's doing what Peter Hitchens is suggesting. I've been reading old Peter.
Yeah.
Also,
Abolition of Britain.
That's not a novel pattern. People have been leaving the Isles for millennia and going elsewhere.
If it was still the days of the Empire, these gentlemen would be administering India. Some of them.
I don't know.
That's very that's not true.
Well, they might be. They'd be shooting something in a foreign.
Are you aware that in order to be a civil in the British Indian civil service, you had to learn at least once the subcontinental language?
Yeah.
Do you see Dino waking up in the morning to learn Urdu?
He's got Duolingo.
If he was forced to, maybe.
Hang on 1 second.
Dino is a product of 20th century bourgeois society, right? I mean, everything about Dino is bourgeois, as in the most strictest Rousseauian sense, as in his entire life is contingent on the opinions of other people. Right? He lives in the opinions of other people. He doesn't live within his own.
I don't know.
No, absolutely, no. Absolutely everything about it, like the look of the Dino, the look of his girlfriend, the look of the house, the fashion brands. All of these things are ultimately bourgeois, as in there's nothing intrinsically good about them for their own sake. What it is just confirmation from other people. Because really, I'm looking at his life and it all looks rather mediocre, right? It looks very, very, very mediocre. I mean, like the white teeth, it's all very vain.
Like the high street is his frame of reference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the epicenter
High street is dying, so now what does he do?
Good question. He goes from Amazon, right? But it's the epicenter of bourgeois culture, and he lives in the opinions of others, right? And he cares about the popular.
I should say that I none of this for me, like I don't even know what is the question here? I mean,
what I'm trying to drive at is just what kind of man Dino is, and like Dino is someone whose opinions are formed from the mainstream current. Like, I mean, take yourselves for an example, right? It's not mainstream to have a moustache, right? And so you haven't.
He's doing slightly better.
yeah. You've got a more impressive moustache, but you can up your game a bit.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. But the point is, Dino will never have a moustache until it becomes
The
what
thing.
he sees on the high street.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.